Imagine sipping a single, vibrant, ruby red drink that, according to the material you've shared with us for this deep dive, could potentially touch upon everything from how healthy your heart is and the glow of your skin, to how well you sleep at night, and even your overall mood and focus during the day. It sounds almost, well, almost too good to be true, like something out of folklore, right?
It absolutely paints a remarkable picture. And that sense of potential is exactly what this deep dive is designed to explore. You've handed us a stack of fascinating information, and our mission here is to dive deep into it, unpack it layer by layer, and extract the most important nuggets about this specific subject, hibiscus tea.
Yeah, we want to help you become truly well-informed on everything this material reveals, giving you that shortcut to understanding it thoroughly and quickly.
Exactly. Getting right to the core insights.
Okay, let's really get into it then. To set the stage, this source material describes hibiscus tea quite vividly. It's an herbal tea known for its really striking red color and a distinct fruity, tart flavor profile.
That tartness is pretty characteristic.
Right. And the material points out its versatility, noting you can enjoy it equally well whether it's served hot and comforting or iced and refreshing.
Yeah, hot or cold, it seems to work.
Specifically, the sources hone in on one particular type, Hibiscus subdurifa. This tea is made from the dried petals, the leaves, and importantly, those deep red, fleshy calices of the plant. That's the part that surrounds the flower bud and, remains after the flower blooms.
Ah, the calices, that's often the key part for the color and flavor, isn't it?
Seems like it, according to this. Our mission, as the source explicitly frames it, is to explore the many impressive reasons presented for why someone might consider drinking this tea regularly, highlighting the potential health benefits that, as the material claims, researchers have proved, or that studies showed.
And what's fascinating is how the material immediately grounds the discussion in a fundamental aspect of health, starting with the powerful presence of antioxidants. This isn't just a side note in the source, it's presented right up front as, well, a core benefit.
Right. Section 1 is all about the power of antioxidants and how the source connects them to fighting damage and even the effects of aging. The material doesn't just say hibiscus tea has antioxidants, it really emphasizes it, stating the tea is loaded with antioxidants and calling it a good source of them.
Loaded with them. That's pretty strong wording.
It is. So, based purely on what this material tells us, how does it explain what these antioxidants are doing inside our bodies? What's their role described here?
The way the source describes it, the primary function of these antioxidants is to actively fight against free radicals.
Okay.
And in doing so, they work to minimize oxidative damage. You think of free radicals as like unstable molecules bouncing around, causing cellular chaos.
Right, causing problems.
Exactly. Then the antioxidants, as presented here, are the body's crucial defense team stepping in to neutralize that threat. That's the picture painted.
Okay, oxidative damage. That sounds serious. And the source makes a pretty big deal about why minimizing it matters. It links it to some fundamental processes and, well, some serious conditions.
This is where the material really highlights a key insight, I think. The sources directly present oxidative damage, not just as something abstract, but as a cause of aging itself.
Aging itself. Wow.
Yeah. And it goes further, linking this type of damage explicitly to many conditions. The examples provided are quite significant and wide-ranging, touching upon serious health challenges: dementia, diabetes, and heart diseases.
Dementia, diabetes, heart disease. So the source isn't just making a general health claim, it's framing this antioxidant effect as a potential defense against a process directly tied to aging and these major conditions. That feels like a pretty powerful core insight right at the beginning.
Precisely. The material positions this antioxidant action as a foundational protective mechanism. By describing it as fighting free radicals and minimizing oxidative damage, a process that directly links to aging and the onset of these serious conditions, the source suggests a direct connection.
A connection between, what, drinking this tea daily and maybe helping protect the body.
Well, it suggests a connection between incorporating this tea into your daily habit and potentially mitigating some of that cellular damage. It's framing the tea as a proactive agent, working at a very fundamental level to protect the body, based entirely on the claims made within this material, of course.
Right, based on the claims. That really sets the stage for the potential scope of this tea's impact, according to the source. Okay, let's move from that foundational cellular level to something really tangible that affects a huge number of people and is extensively discussed in the material: cardiovascular health. specifically focusing on blood pressure and cholesterol.
Yeah, this is a significant transition because it moves from that general cellular protection to specific, measurable effects on a major system in the body. First, concerning blood pressure, the sources are quite explicit.
What do they say?
They state that hibiscus tea helps to lower blood pressure. And they specify this benefit applies particularly for those people suffering with high blood pressure and hypertension.
That's a substantial claim. How does the material say it accomplishes this? What's the proposed physical mechanism described in the source? Is there one?
Yes, the source describes a direct physical effect on the blood vessels. It says the tea will cause dilating the arteries.
Dilating the arteries, like widening them.
Exactly. By widening the arteries even slightly, the material explains that this promotes smooth blood flow. Think of it like widening a pipe the fluid can move through with less resistance.
Okay, that makes sense physically. And the direct result of that smoother blood flow from these dilated arteries as the source presents it.
It results reduction in systolic blood pressure. That's the top number in a blood pressure reading, representing the pressure in your arteries when your heart beats and pumps blood. The source highlights this specific reduction as a key outcome.
Systolic pressure. Got it. Now, the source includes a really strong statement here that we need to emphasize is coming directly from the material and not from us as medical advice. It says, and I'm quoting here, "So, before starting taking any medicine, try hibiscus tea to solve this high blood pressure-related problems."
Absolutely. It is critically important to stress that this is a statement found within the source material you provided. Our role here is just to convey the information in these sources impartially. We are definitely not offering medical advice.
No, absolutely not. Anyone with high blood pressure or hypertension or considering changes to their treatment must always consult with qualified healthcare professionals. Full stop.
Couldn't agree more. However, it's interesting that the source immediately follows this suggestion by reinforcing why they present it this way. They state the universally accepted fact that we know that high blood pressure increases the risk of heart diseases.
Right, that link is well established.
So therefore, within the logic of the source, starting to drink hibiscus tea is framed as a potential strategy to help reduce that increased risk without further delay, linking the tea's claimed effect on blood pressure directly to a major factor in heart health.
Okay, so that's the blood pressure angle according to the source. Moving within the realm of cardiovascular health, the source also extensively discusses cholesterol. What does it claim the tea can do there?
Well, the claim made in the material is that hibiscus tea helped to reduce cholesterol levels. Another pretty direct claim.
And similar to blood pressure, is there a specific mechanism the material describes for how it might achieve this reduction in cholesterol?
Yes, there is a specific biological action mentioned. The source says the tea will inhibit the enzyme activity that promote cholesterol synthesis in the liver.
Okay, inhibit enzyme activity for cholesterol synthesis in the liver. Can you unpack that a bit?
Sure. Cholesterol synthesis is basically the process where your liver produces cholesterol. It's a natural process. So according to the source, the tea interferes with a key enzyme involved in the body's own cholesterol production line.
So by essentially putting a pause button on that specific enzyme activity in the liver, according to the source, it directly results lowering of cholesterol levels. Is that the picture the material paints?
That is precisely what the source states is the outcome of this enzymatic inhibition. And the material goes on to describe broader implications for blood lipids, fats in the blood.
Broader implications, like what?
It suggests that the tea may help lower blood fat levels, more generally, not just cholesterol. This effect, it claims, can decrease the risk of heart attack and other health issues, and also improve overall lipid profile in people.
So it's connecting the tea's impact on cholesterol and other fats directly to reducing the risk of serious heart-related problems.
That's the link the source makes, yes.
Yeah.
Improving the overall lipid profile is presented as a key benefit for heart health.
What's particularly interesting here, I think, is how the source material links these two major aspects of cardiovascular health, blood pressure, and cholesterol. These are both significant and often interconnected risk factors for heart disease.
Absolutely.
By presenting potential benefits in both areas, the source positions hibiscus tea as a comprehensive potential ally for overall heart well-being, according to the information provided, of course.
It suggests a multi-targeted effect from a single source, addressing key indicators that influence cardiovascular risk simultaneously, based on the claims found in this material. It's not just one mechanism. It's presented as influencing different pathways related to heart health.
Right, multiple angles. Okay, let's shift gears from the heart and blood vessels to how the body processes energy, manages weight, and handles waste. Section 3 dives into metabolism, weight management, and digestion, all linked together in the source material. Where does it start?
Well, it starts with a claim that often gets a lot of attention. The
Yeah.
source material claims that hibiscus tea can help in weight loss.
Weight loss. Okay. Does it say how? Does it point to specific compounds found in the tea as being responsible?
It does. It mentions specific compounds identified in the tea. It contains anthocyanin, phenolic compounds, and flavonoids.
Anthocyanins, phenolic compounds, flavonoids. And what role do these specific components play according to the material? How do they relate to weight loss?
These compounds are attributed with a specific function related to fat processing. The source states they help in fat digestion or lipid metabolism and fat reduction.
Lipid metabolism. That's basically how our bodies break down and use fats, right?
Exactly. So the source suggests these compounds assist the body in handling fats more effectively, helping with the digestion and metabolism of fat.
And the reported outcome of this assistance with fat digestion and metabolism, according to the source, what does it say happens?
The material states that this action results body weight loss of overweight people and maintain hip-to-waist ratio.
Okay, body weight loss,
Oh.
but specifically in overweight people.
Yes, it's important to note the source specifically ties this reported outcome to overweight people. This suggests the effect observed or reported in the material was perhaps in a specific population group. And it also mentions maintaining the hip-to-waist ratio, which is interesting.
Yeah, that is interesting. So a potential impact on weight management and how the body processes fat attributed to those specific compounds. What about digestion more broadly and preventing something common like constipation? The source addresses that too, doesn't it?
It does. It states a dual benefit for the digestive system,
Hmm.
helping in digestion and prevent constipation.
And the mechanism, how does it suggest the tea helps with that?
The mechanism it gives for this is quite straightforward but fundamental.
Yeah.
It keeps you hydrated. The source explicitly links this hydration to promoting digestion and preventing constipation.
Just hydration.
Well, that's the primary mechanism mentioned for this specific point. And hydration is, of course, essential for the digestive system to function smoothly, keeps things moving.
Sure, hydration certainly plays a big role in keeping things moving, but the source also discusses the tea's involvement in the excretory system beyond just basic hydration, right?
Yes, it highlights a broader role. It states the tea also help in the removal of sodium from the body.
Sodium removal. Okay.
This means, according to the material, it assists in looking after the total excretion system. This includes facilitating proper urinations and regular bowel movement.
So it's presented as helping the body process fluids and minerals like sodium in a way that supports the overall system responsible for eliminating waste, leading to those outcomes of proper urination and regular bowel movements.
That's the picture the source paints. It suggests it helps regulate the whole system.
It seems the source material suggests a connected pathway here, that the tea's effects on hydration, mineral balance, specifically sodium removal, and potentially fat metabolism all contribute to efficient processing and elimination within the body.
Precisely. It links what you consume directly to how effectively your body breaks down food, manages fats, and eliminates waste. Based on the claims in this material, it's presenting a picture of support for the body's internal processing plant, if you like.
Okay, the internal processing plant.
I like that.
All right, let's think about how the body defends itself from outside invaders, the immune system, and fighting off infections. Section 4 dives into boosting immunity, and the source makes a general claim right off the bat.
Yes, it states quite directly that hibiscus tea boosts the immune system. This is a broad benefit, but the material provides specific properties that it links to this overall boost.
And it backs this up by detailing specific actions. First, it mentions that the tea has antibacterial properties. What does that mean in practical terms, according to the source? What does it claim this property does?
The material states this property means it helps to kill the bacteria present in our body. This suggests a direct action against harmful bacteria.
Killing bacteria. And the source even gives examples of specific diseases or conditions linked to these bacteria that the tea is said to potentially help with.
Right, the source lists several diseases like urinary tract infections, pneumonia, bronchitis, diarrhea, etc. So it's claiming the tea's antibacterial action can help combat specific bacterial pathogens that cause these common illnesses, which is, quite a direct impact suggested.
UTIs, pneumonia, bronchitis, diarrhea. What's particularly striking, according to this material, is that it doesn't stop at bacteria. The source also claims the tea has antiviral activity. Is that right?
Indeed, it explicitly states that it works against viruses. Having both antibacterial and antiviral properties attributed to a single source is noteworthy based on the claims presented here.
both bacterial and viral. And it even names specific viruses that the source claims it works against. Which ones are listed?
The source explicitly lists influenza virus and hepatitis A virus.
Influenza and hepatitis A. So, according to this material, the tea is suggested to have effects against common respiratory viruses like the flu and also hepatitis A.
That's what the source claims.
So, based on this material, you're getting a single drink that is claimed to potentially work against both bacterial and viral threats, like specific infections such as UTIs, pneumonia, bronchitis, diarrhea, influenza, and hepatitis A. That's quite a list.
That's what the source claims, yes. It presents these specific antibacterial and antiviral actions as the mechanisms contributing to the overarching claim of boosting the immune system. It frames the tea as supporting the body's ability to defend itself against a range of different types of infectious agents, according entirely to the information provided in this material.
Okay. From fighting off microscopic invaders inside the body, let's shift to the more visible benefits that often get noticed first. Section 5 talks about skin and hair health, focusing on what the source calls the glow factor.
Ah, yes, the glow factor. The claim made in the material here is straightforward and appealing. It improves skin health.
Improves skin health. And it provides a couple of ways it suggests this happens. One mechanism ties back directly to our very first section, the antioxidant discussion, doesn't it?
Yes, it explicitly links back. The source states that the tea reduces oxidative stress, that cellular damage we talked about earlier, and because of that, it helps restore your skin glow by stopping aging process and nourished from within.
Nourished from within. What do you think that means in this context, based on what else we've heard?
Well, based on the other claims, it likely connects to the overall benefits we've already discussed. Things like potentially improved circulation, maybe better nutrient delivery, and more efficient waste removal, all contributing to healthier skin from the inside out. That seems to be the implication.
Makes sense. And there's another key component in the tea that the source highlights specifically for skin health.
Right. The source points out the presence of vitamin C in the tea.
Vitamin C. And what role does it say vitamin C plays?
It states that vitamin C promotes new skin cell growth. Vitamin C is widely known for its role in skin health and collagen production, and the source attributes the tea's benefit partly to this specific vitamin, linking it directly to the regeneration of skin cells.
Okay, so antioxidants fighting damage, vitamin C promoting new cell growth. The claims for skin health in the source material are quite specific, though, even using strong language. The source claims it cures a list of things.
That's right. The source uses the word cures when listing conditions like acne, eczema, and skin allergies, scars, blemishes, sunburn, etc.
Cures. That's a very strong word.
It is, and it's important to note, again, we are reporting the claims found directly in the material. It presents the tea as potentially addressing a wide array of common skin issues using that strong language. It's interesting. Perhaps the source is linking the combined effects it describes, the antioxidants, the vitamin C, and maybe potential anti-inflammatory actions, which might be implied by addressing issues like eczema and allergies to these outcomes. That seems to be the rationale presented within its overall claims.
Okay, definitely noted as claims from the source. Moving from skin to hair, what does the source material say about the tea's potential impact on hair growth?
The claim there is that it will promote hair growth.
Promote hair growth. And what mechanism does the source attribute this benefit to?
The source links this to the tea increasing collagen production.
Collagen production. And that increase in collagen thus help new hair growth, according to the material.
Exactly. Collagen is a fundamental protein, provides structure throughout the body, including potentially supporting hair follicles. The source makes a direct connection. Consume the tea, boost collagen production, promote new hair growth. That's the described pathway.
What's quite compelling here is how the source material seems to weave together these benefits for both skin and hair. It links them through shared pathways. It describes fighting oxidative stress, promoting cell regeneration via vitamin C, and boosting collagen production. It suggests a connected impact on these visible indicators of health, stemming from internal actions described in the source.
It really paints a picture where the tea's internal benefits manifest outwardly, contributing to not just how you feel, but potentially also how you look, based purely on the information provided in this material. It's presenting a holistic view of wellness, according to the source.
Right, a holistic view. Stepping back inside the body now, let's explore some deeper protective effects mentioned in the sources, focusing on vital organs and potential defense against serious diseases. Section 6 covers liver protection and touches upon potential anti-cancer links, all according to the material provided. Let's start with the liver.
Okay. First, regarding the liver, the source makes the claim that the tea prevents liver damage.
Prevents liver damage. And it uses a specific term to describe this property. Hepatoprotective properties.
That's the term used, yes. Hepatoprotective basically means liver protecting. The source states that this property means the tea will protect the liver from toxic chemicals.
Protecting the liver from toxins. That sounds important, given the liver's role as a filter.
Absolutely. The liver is our body's primary detoxifier, constantly processing substances, so protecting it from damage is crucial for overall health.
And the source ties this protective quality back to a benefit we discussed right at the beginning, doesn't it? The antioxidants.
It does, yeah. It attributes this liver protective quality, as per the source, to the tea's broader antioxidant property. This connection is interesting because it shows how that core benefit of fighting oxidative stress can potentially have specific protective effects on individual organs like the liver, according to the source material's claims.
Okay, so potential liver protection linked back to antioxidants. Now, the material also touches upon cancer prevention, which is obviously a very serious topic. We need to be very precise in conveying exactly what the source claims here, attributing it clearly. What does the source state regarding cancer?
The source states that hibiscus tea helps to prevent cancer. It then immediately highlights a key compound found in hibiscus, emphasizing that the tea is loaded with polyphenols.
Polyphenols. And what role do these polyphenols play, according to this material?
These polyphenols are specifically described in the source as a powerful anti-cancer agent. That's a strong designation the source gives to this class of compounds found in the tea.
A powerful anti-cancer agent. The source also mentions specific findings from studies related to this. What do those reported findings say about hibiscus extracts, according to the source?
The source states, and again, citing studies, hibiscus extracts inhibits cancer cell growth and reduces the invasiveness of many cancers. It explicitly notes that this information is according to study.
Okay, inhibits cancer cell growth and reduces invasiveness.
Yes. And it is absolutely crucial to understand that we are reporting the findings as presented in a study mentioned in the source material. We are not making a definitive medical claim ourselves about curing or preventing cancer.
Right. No medical claims here.
The material points to research indicating the potential for hibiscus compounds to interfere with cancer cell behavior, specifically inhibiting growth and reducing invasiveness, based on the studies it cites.
It highlights the scope of the potential effects being investigated in research, as reported within the source material, linking specific compounds like polyphenols to these observed actions against cancer cells.
Exactly. The combination of potentially preventing liver damage, attributed to antioxidants, and then, according to studies cited in the source, inhibiting cancer cell actions via polyphenols adds another layer of potential protective benefits attributed to this tea in the material.
Okay. Let's move to another major chronic health concern that the sources specifically address: diabetes, particularly type 2. This section also includes some absolutely crucial warnings that the source provides, which we must cover carefully.
Yes, the material does indeed suggest a potential benefit for managing diabetes. It claims hibiscus tea can help to manage diabetes.
Help manage diabetes. And it even gives a specific time frame and potential outcome that might be observed based on the source's findings.
It does. It states that for taking hibiscus tea for 2 to 3 months, you may see a civic reduction in fasting blood sugar level if you have type 2 diabetes.
Okay, a civic reduction, maybe they meant significant, in fasting blood sugar.
That seems likely. Yes, probably significant. And it's important to note the source is specific here, mentioning type 2 diabetes and suggesting a potential time frame of 2 to 3 months for observing this reduction in fasting blood sugar levels based on the information it presents.
How does the source suggest this reduction in blood sugar happens? What's the proposed mechanism related to how our bodies process sugar, according to the material?
The material attributes this effect to the tea, inhibiting those enzymes that grate carbohydrates into sugar and increase sugar level in blood.
Inhibiting enzymes that break carbs into sugar.
Exactly. So the source describes the tea as interfering with the normal process of breaking down carbohydrates from food into simple sugars, which are then absorbed into the bloodstream. By inhibiting these key enzymes, the tea is suggested to slow down or reduce the amount of sugar entering the blood after a meal, thereby potentially lowering blood sugar levels. That's the mechanism described in the source.
Okay, now this section is absolutely vital because the source includes a critical medical caveat here, and we must stress this point as strongly as the material does.
This is non-negotiable information directly from the source. It includes an explicit warning.
Mm.
If you already take medicines to control blood sugar, then ask your doctor whether you can add this tea in your diet or not.
Ask your doctor first if you're already on medication.
Yes, this is essential guidance found within the material itself. It underscores that while the source discusses potential benefits, this information is for knowledge and understanding the claims, not for self-treating medical conditions, particularly when you are already on prescribed medication. Always consult with a healthcare professional.
Absolutely critical. And the source lists other extremely important usage warnings that must also be included when discussing this material. What are those?
Yes, there are other significant restrictions explicitly mentioned in the source. Don't drink it during pregnancy, breastfeeding, or during birth control medications.
Pregnancy, breastfeeding, birth control meds, do not drink it, according to the source.
Correct. These are presented as clear prohibitions within the source material. Given the wide range of biological effects attributed to the tea in other sections, things like potential effects on hormones, blood pressure, muscle relaxation, these precautions make sense as potential interactions or risks during these specific conditions and circumstances as highlighted by the source. Understanding these limitations is just as crucial as understanding the potential benefits presented.
Those are incredibly important points drawn directly from the source material that anyone considering trying this tea, especially if they fall into those categories or are on medication, absolutely needs to be aware of and discuss with their doctor. Okay, now let's shift gears completely to something less about physical ailments and more about how you feel mentally and how well you rest. Section 8, according to the source, is about mental well-being, sleep quality, and even stress reduction.
Right, and the source material suggests hibiscus tea can promote good sleep. A key characteristic it points out immediately, and one that's particularly relevant for an evening drink, is that it is happily free from caffeine.
No caffeine. That's a big plus if you're trying to unwind and not get stimulated before bed. What other properties related to sleep does the source mention?
It states that the tea has sedative properties.
Sedative properties, meaning calming or relaxing.
Exactly. Substances with sedative properties tend to calm or relax the nervous system.
And the claimed action of these properties, according to the material, what do they do?
It says these properties mean the tea relaxes your body and mind.
Relaxing body and mind. How does this relaxation translate into potentially better sleep, according to the source's claims?
This state of relaxation is explicitly linked in the source to improving better sleep quality. It suggests this is achieved by reducing stress, depression, and anxiety.
Ah, so it links relaxation to reducing stress, depression, and anxiety, which then leads to better sleep.
That's the connection the source makes, yes. The material highlights the known link between mental states like stress, depression, and anxiety and their negative impact on sleep. Proposing the tea counteracts this by promoting relaxation.
The source even includes what sounds like anecdotal experience from people who have tried it for sleep. What does it say there?
Yes, it mentions that people experiences that they fall asleep quickly and experienced a prolonged sound sleep when they take hibiscus tea before going to bed at night.
Fall asleep quickly, prolonged sound sleep.
Yeah. This effect is attributed to its soothing, calming effect, according to the material. This adds a personal dimension to the claim, suggesting real-world impact on how easily and deeply people report sleeping after drinking the tea based on experiences noted in the source.
That speaks directly to the perceived impact on sleep quality and the ease of falling asleep. What about broader benefits for mental health beyond just sleep and stress? Does the source mention anything else?
It does. The source links this to specific components within the tea. It highlights the presence of essential minerals, mentioning calcium, magnesium, iron, and several other essential minerals.
Calcium, magnesium, iron. And how do these minerals, according to the source, contribute to mental function and well-being?
The source states that these minerals help in signal transmission and oxygen supply to the brain cells.
Signal transmission, oxygen supply to brain cells, those sound like pretty fundamental processes for brain health.
They are. Healthy brain function relies heavily on good signaling between cells and adequate oxygen. The material suggests the presence of these minerals in the tea supports these vital activities.
And the reported results of this purported improvement in brain function, according to the material, what benefits does it claim?
This mineral support and its effect on the brain are claimed to lead to tangible cognitive and mood benefits. It improves memory, brain power, concentration, or focus to work and boost our mood, makes us happy and healthy.
Memory, brain power, concentration, focus, mood boost. Those are significant claims about cognitive enhancement and emotional state.
They really are.
And the source connects these improvements in cognition and mood to real-world practical outcomes, doesn't it?
It does. It concludes that this uplift in mental function and mood will ultimately increase our productivity and efficiency at work, both in our home and workplace. So the source draws a direct line from the tea's potential mineral content and its effect on brain cells to improve mental performance and productivity in daily life.
What's remarkable here is how the source material presents this holistic view. It's linking the tea's physical relaxation properties, its lack of caffeine, the presence of essential minerals potentially supporting brain function, and its purported effect on reducing stress and anxiety, to improvements in sleep, cognitive performance, mood, and even daily productivity. It's quite a web of connections.
It ties internal biochemical support and physical effects directly to outward feelings, mental capabilities, and even real-world performance outcomes, based entirely on the claims made in the material provided. It's presenting a connection between physical consumption and a wide spectrum of mental and emotional states.
Okay, let's look at one more specific internal organ system mentioned in the sources, the kidneys. Section 9 focuses on kidney health and the tea's purported effect on preventing kidney stones. What's the claim here?
The source explicitly claims that hibiscus tea prevents kidney stones formation. And this is a very specific preventative claim made in the material.
Prevents kidney stones. And what property of the tea does the source credit this claim to?
It points to the tea having diuretic properties.
Diuretic properties, meaning it makes you urinate more.
Essentially, yes. A diuretic is something that increases the production of urine.
So how does increasing urine production, according to the material, help prevent the formation of kidney stones? What's the logic?
The mechanism described is that this increased urine production will increase urine production and flush out excess minerals. Kidney stones often form when certain minerals in the urine become too concentrated and crystallize.
Right, like calcium and oxalate.
Exactly. So by flushing out those excess minerals more effectively,
They do not get chance to form kidney stones. It's presented as a sort of mechanical process. Increasing the flow and reducing the concentration of stone-forming substances makes it harder for stones to develop. Is that it?
that's the mechanism described in the source, yes. Dilution and flushing.
The source even cites evidence here to back up this claim, doesn't it?
Yes, it mentions that studies showed how this tea increases the volume of urine and decreases the concentration of calcium and oxalate in the urine.
So study findings reported in the source directly support the proposed mechanism, increasing urine volume and reducing the concentration of the key minerals needed for stone formation.
Correct. That's how the source presents the evidence linking the diuretic effect to kidney stone prevention.
Wow. Okay. That covers an incredibly wide range of potential benefits detailed in the source material. We've gone from specific organs like the heart, liver, and kidneys to broad systemic impacts on metabolism, immunity, cellular health, and even mental well-being and appearance.
It really does span almost every major system in the body, based on the claims presented in this material. It's a surprising breadth of potential effects attributed to one single plant source.
You know, the source material includes the striking idea that plant power is the perfect remedy for us for about all types of health problems.
Yeah.
After exploring all these detailed claims as presented here, from fighting oxidative damage linked to aging and disease, to potentially managing blood pressure and cholesterol, aiding digestion and weight management, boosting immunity against bacteria and viruses, improving skin and hair, protecting the liver, potentially impacting cancer cells according to studies, helping with blood sugar control, enhancing mood and sleep, and preventing kidney stones. That overarching statement found within the source starts to feel a lot more understandable, doesn't it? Maybe even compelling within the context of this material.
It certainly provides the specific examples, mechanisms, and reported study findings, according to the material, that lend significant weight to that broad declaration of plant power. It takes a general concept and grounds it in potential biological actions across numerous health domains, as described thoroughly in the source material provided.
And for someone like you listening, looking to get well-informed quickly but thoroughly without being overwhelmed, breaking down source material like this is hopefully key. It helps you see the sheer breadth of what's being claimed about something like hibiscus tea, pulling out those specific nuggets of information and potential aha moments.
Like discovering the potential links mentioned between this tea and things as disparate as dementia risk factors, viral infections, and skin aging, according entirely to the information provided here.
Exactly. It aims to distill that potentially overwhelming volume of information into an organized, understandable picture of the tea's claimed capabilities, drawn directly from the source you shared.
Making sense of the claims one by one.
Right. Now, the source doesn't just tell us about the potential benefits, it also gives us practical instructions on how to actually make this tea ourselves. Section 10 covers how to prepare and enhance it according to the material. How simple is it?
The instructions provided are quite simple, actually making it very accessible. The basic method is to simply add 1 tablespoon dried hibiscus flowers to a cup and pour boiling water over them.
1 tablespoon boiling water. Got it. And how long does the source suggest you let it steep?
It says to wait for 5 minutes, then strain it. 5 minutes. Steeping time is generally important for extracting the flavor and, those beneficial compounds we've been discussing.
5 minutes, then strain. And what about adding sweetener? We mentioned earlier the tea has a distinct tart flavor.
Right. The source advises to enjoy this tea without sugar, suggesting it's maybe best experienced without added sweetness initially to appreciate its natural character. But it immediately offers an alternative if the tartness is too much. But you can add 1 teaspoon honey to balance its darkness. This acknowledges the tea's natural intensity and provides a natural sweetener option.
Honey to balance the tartness. Okay. The source also gives some great suggestions for adding more flavor and potentially, as it says, increasing nutritional value by adding other ingredients. What does it list?
Yes, it lists several complementary additions: lemon juice cinnamon, or basil lemongrass, or mint leaves.
Lemon, cinnamon, basil, lemongrass, mint.
Yeah. Adding lemon juice could enhance the tartness and add vitamin C. Cinnamon, basil, lemongrass, and mint are all herbs and spices known for their own distinct flavors and are often attributed with various health properties themselves. So, as the source suggests, these could potentially complement the hibiscus and maybe even increase nutritional value. Adds a bit of variety, too.
Sounds like you could experiment quite a bit with the flavor profile. And if you're interested in trying make this tea yourself, where does the source indicate you can easily find the main ingredient, the dried hibiscus?
It mentions you can buy dried hibiscus flowers or hibiscus tea bags readily from online or markets. This indicates the ingredient is pretty widely available if you wanted to explore this further based on the information presented in the source.
Good to know it's accessible.
So as we bring this deep dive to a close, we've journeyed through this really impressive landscape of potential health benefits attributed to hibiscus tea in the source material you provided. It's presented as a simple drink with, according to this information, potentially profound and wide-ranging impacts on health and well-being.
Yeah, from fighting cellular damage, potentially supporting major organs like the heart, liver, and kidneys, aiding metabolism and immunity, to even possibly improving sleep, mood, and the health of your skin and hair. It's quite the list.
It covers a lot of ground based on these claims.
It really makes you pause and consider, doesn't it? Thinking about how just one single plant, hibiscus, according to the comprehensive information we've explored today from your source, is linked to such a diverse array of potential benefits. Sleep, mood, digestion, hormone function, blood sugar, liver protection, kidney health, skin vitality, cellular defense. What does all of this suggest? What does it suggest about the hidden power that might be waiting to be understood in the natural world around us? And maybe what other complex potentials might be contained within seemingly simple things, just waiting for us to discover and understand them through explorations like this deep dive. It makes you wonder what else is out there.
It's a compelling question to ponder, absolutely. The depth and breadth of benefits attributed to just this one plant in the material certainly spark curiosity about the potential insights the natural world still holds, waiting to be explored and understood better.
Well, thank you for bringing us this fascinating source material and for joining us on this deep dive into the world of hibiscus tea as presented solely within that information. We truly hope that breaking down this material in detail, pulling out the key claims and insights has been valuable and, well,